Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Steve Silverman, who's the president and COO with Abbey Carpet and Floors. Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing great this morning, Kim. How are you?
I'm good. I know I'm catching you toward the tail end of the Abbey winter show, and you've got floors to go yet to come. You're out in Vegas staying at the Westgate Hotel. This is a very important buying group within the industry. Let's start out with you filling us in with what's new with Abbey.
Well, we introduced a number of new initiatives to our members yesterday during our general session, followed by several breakout sessions going into each initiative in detail and following that with Q&A from our members. And it was a great opening. Our exhibits go on today and tomorrow for Abbey and conclude Friday evening.
Are you still around 600 storefronts? What's the size of Abbey now?
We have right around 600 members, 630, 640 storefronts. Close to go about 135 members with a similar number of storefronts.
All right, and you've been with your members now for several days. How are they feeling? Tell us a little bit about how 15 ended up, what the attitude is around where 16 is going to take us.
Our members are very upbeat. In fact, the attendance during this convention exceeded all previous conventions back to 2008 in terms of percentage of members in attendance. 2015 was, I think, a mirror year for Abbey compared to the industry. We were up mid-single-digit growth, and it broke out, again, similar to the industry with hard surface, high single-digit growth, and carpet below that. I think, again, like the industry, about 54% of our business moving toward hard surface and growing, and 46% in carpet and area rugs.
As a buying group, I think your goal is to make sure that your members continue to be more and more successful every year. So what challenges are you addressing to help your members be more successful?
We have several fronts. Of course, you have the digital marketing and social media front, where members need help with our proprietary pay-per-click program, which we introduced 2 years ago in Orlando. So we continued focus on that. More succinctly, I believe, is the retail sales associate, who is the primary link between the store owner and the consumer. In that vein, we have a couple of initiatives that we introduced and will continue to expand on to help the retail sales associate. One, in the area of training, and not just training on selling, but training on construction, training on the attributes of hard surface and broadloom, comparing, for example, solid hardwood to engineered. We have several thousand RSAs in our groups with varying levels of experience, some with maybe a day or two experience, some seasoned vets. So we've loaded quite a large bank of training and learning tools on what we call our InfoNet, which is a members-only password-protected internet service where the sales associate can log on and select different areas of learning that he or the store owner or store manager might choose. That was extremely well received because training is a hard thing to get your hands around. No one wants their salespeople to leave the store for training. Regional training meetings don't work. So now we have 24/7 online training for our members. Another area focusing on the retail sales associate is we introduced a program called Performance Plus Rewards Program. It focuses on our private brands where competitive shopping is not an issue, and for the sale of products within those programs, our retail sales associates will earn and accrue points toward premiums that they can redeem for themselves and their families. Another area of great importance is the look of our member showrooms. You only get one opportunity for a good first impression. So we have set up in the exhibit hall next to what we call our Abbey brand showcase, which are all the new introductions, a 4,200 square foot live working retail showroom. We've spent a number of months with our creative space planners designing the showroom as to how the pattern flow should go, how the displays should be laid out, and that has been extremely well received. We have a reception desk, 4 walls, all of our window banners and marketing material set up in this showroom as if it were an actual retail store. If our members like it, we are offering them a very deep discount and helping them redesign their showroom, and they can use it as a guide. We're giving them a planogram and also the professional help to accomplish that, because the showroom needs to be updated, we believe, every couple of years, just to keep your salespeople excited with a new and different look, as opposed to walking into the same showroom every day, year in and year out. So that's something we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, let me key in on that just a minute. I interviewed Bruce Wicker, the head of J.J. Haynes, recently, and he was talking about how difficult we make it for the consumer to buy floor covering. And you really do. And inside the store, you need to try to simplify it. And, you know, if you're an organization like Abbey, you've got your own programs, and then you've got these mills who have an army of people that are out there, and they try to come in and force these store owners to bring in additional. You really have to have a lot of discipline around merchandising, don't you?
Well, we open our breakout sessions, which follow general session, with merchandising, because merchandising in our industry is still probably the most important ingredient in terms of how our members look at their challenges every day. Do they have the right products? Are they properly priced? Are they properly branded? Are they properly displayed? And what is the traffic flow within my showroom? So we introduced what we call the Visions 2016, which is this showroom concept. Yeah. And it can be adapted to any size showroom. It just happens to be 4,200 square feet in our exhibit hall, but it can be 2,500 square feet or 10,000 square feet. And it's very important because it does give the member a discipline to follow, so that he's not deluged with 50 or 60 reps calling him and trying to drop off displays and samples in a haphazard manner.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So I noticed just in looking at your website, and you and I haven't talked in a little while, but looks like you've also got a big push toward home shopping. And do you have a lot of members that are out there with vans that are actually going out to the consumer's residence and visiting with her there and selling there?
Well, we have a shop at home program, Kim, that we introduced a few years ago. But I would say we're still interested in the goal and not only what we do on the internet, what we do in pay-per-click, and bringing the consumer into the store. We believe that's where the best opportunity to close the sale is, and that's what our digital marketing program does. That's what the various social media programs that we're recommending to our members do. We want the consumer into the store, and that's where the consumer today, if we're looking at the millennial group, which is the up-and-coming group, as you know, shopping for floor covering and going to be spending their money in floor covering, they go online, they select different components to go into their dream home, if you will, and they store that information on their smartphones, their desktops, laptops. When they're ready to make a purchase, they're ready to come in and buy. They already know what they want their home to look like, and that's what we're really focusing on.
Okay, all right. Well, let me just ask you, when you start looking at those members out there that are successful and you compare them to the ones that are still struggling, what are the ones that are more successful doing? How are they winning in this game?
I think success in retail flooring is really not much different than success in any business. It requires a plan.
Yeah.
Hope, as one industry executive told his management team, hope is not a strategy. You have to have a plan. And we stress that upon our members, and we lay out what the plan should be. Now, they can take advantage of that if they choose. We don't mandate anything on our members. We let them run their businesses because they are the ones that pay the bills. I think it's a drive, it's a passion. To be in the retail floor covering business, you have to love it. It's a very challenging job. It's a very difficult job. Every order requires a different size of material. It requires an installer, which is another issue facing all floor covering dealers. Qualified installers, we're trying to address that. So there are a number of things that feed on what makes a successful floor covering retailer.
And what are you doing to try to increase traffic to their stores, being a franchise buying group?
We have our own marketing and advertising department, and we found that members more and more frequently are looking for marketing organizations to come into their business and give them some type of way to reach the consumer. We have our own department. We know our members' business better than any outside firm, and we're saying, come to us. The cost of doing this is far less expensive. We can monitor results, give you up to the minute results. And it's a pay-per-click program where they buy time based on the number of clicks they want to have in a given day or in a given month. And the program is rapidly growing. We have close to 80% of our membership now on pay-per-click, and the results are measurable. They can tell the difference in the traffic flow in the business compared to when they weren't, and it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I know you're busy, and I appreciate you taking time out to spend some time with me and talk about your programs. Again, been talking to Steve Silverman, who's president and COO with Abbey Carpet and Floor, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.